Have you ever looked at someone very calm and wondered why they seem to live so lightly? Not because their life is easier than yours, not because they have no pressure, no responsibilities, or no tired days. Most likely, they also have problems like you do. Work, family, money, health, and thoughts that are not fully at peace inside. But the difference lies in how they take care of their mind every day. Many people think happiness must come from one big change: more money, a better job, a more perfect life. But in reality, peace often begins with very small things that we usually overlook. Just a few quiet minutes in the morning, a moment of gratitude, a kind word for someone else, a little movement, spending less time on your phone and social media, writing down a few thoughts before sleep. These things may sound so simple that many people do not believe they can create real change. But the Stoics believed a good life does not come from one big change in a single day. It is built from small things you do consistently every day. Today, we are going to look at 7 small habits that can help you live with more calm, more happiness, and a lighter heart each day. You do not need to change your entire life immediately. You only need to begin with one small habit. Then practice it consistently every day so you can slowly feel better and more at peace. The first habit is to spend about 2 quiet minutes in the morning before checking your phone or starting work. Many people pick up their phone the moment they wake up, before they even wash their face, before they breathe properly. Their mind is already pulled into messages, notifications, social media, work, news, and other people's lives. When you begin your day like that, it becomes very easy to feel tired early, not because the day has truly become difficult yet, but because your mind has not had time to settle before receiving too much at once. The moment you open your eyes, you allow other things to choose your first thoughts of the day for you. You do not need to do anything big, just 2 minutes. Sit quietly for a moment. Breathe a little slower. Feel your body waking up, and ask yourself, what is one small thing I can look forward to today? Maybe it is a cup of coffee, a simple meal, a quiet walk or drive to work, a pleasant conversation, or simply the feeling that you still have a new day to begin again. The second habit is to notice one moment of gratitude during the day. You do not need to write a lot. You do not need to force yourself to think of something deeply meaningful. Just spend a few seconds noticing one good thing in your day. A ray of sunlight through the window, a kind message, a warm meal, a quiet moment in the day, a moment when your heart feels a little lighter. The Stoics understood that we cannot control everything that happens in a day, but we can choose how we look at things. If you only focus on what you do not have, you will easily feel tired and pressured. But if you pay attention to the small good things that are still present in your life, your heart can feel lighter and more at ease. Starting the day more slowly and noticing one thing to be grateful for will not make every problem disappear, but it can help you feel calmer, think more clearly, and become less easily pulled by the pressure of the day. And once you begin the morning with a few quiet minutes, you can continue with small actions that help your body and mind feel better. The third habit is to give one sincere compliment to someone during the day. It does not need to be something big or beautifully worded, just something honest, specific, and said at the right moment. You can tell a friend that you appreciate their kindness. You can tell a coworker that you noticed how hard they have been trying. Or you can tell someone in your family that their presence makes your day feel a little easier. A sincere compliment does not only make another person feel happier, it also trains you to look at life with softer eyes. When you intentionally look for something good in another person, your mind becomes less used to only seeing mistakes, shortcomings, and things that bother you. Little by little, you begin to realize that life still has many things worth appreciating. Sometimes we are simply too busy or too tired to notice them. The fourth habit is to move your body for about 10 minutes each day. Many people hear the word exercise and immediately think of a long workout, going to the gym, wearing proper workout clothes, or needing a lot of time. But to begin, you do not need to make it that big. You can walk around your home, stretch for a few minutes, do a few simple movements, or simply step outside, breathe, and let your body move. The body and the mind are not separate. When the body stays still for too long, the mind can also become heavier. But with just a little movement, you can feel more awake, less stuck, and more connected to the fact that you are still caring for yourself. The Stoics did not see caring for the body as something luxurious. They understood that a steady mind needs to be supported by a body that is properly cared for. You do not need to exercise to prove anything to anyone. You only need to move to remind yourself that you still have responsibility for your health, your energy, and your life. A sincere compliment helps you connect better with others. A little movement helps you reconnect with your own body. These two things are very small, but if you repeat them every day, they can help you feel happier, healthier, and more at ease. Once you have learned to care for your relationships and your body, the next step is to give your mind some time to rest, and that can begin by looking at screens a little less and not letting yourself stay stuck in negative thoughts for too long. The fifth habit is to spend a few minutes each day without using your phone or computer. It does not need to be long, just about 15 minutes with no phone, no computer, no messages, and no social media. During that time, you can take a slow walk, drink a glass of water, sit quietly and look outside, or simply let your eyes and your mind rest. Many people think they are resting when they scroll on their phone, but in reality, the mind is still receiving so much information. One image after another, one sound after another, one piece of news after another. One person's life, then someone else's problem. Your body may be lying still, but your mind is still running constantly. When you step away from screens for a while, you give your mind a chance to return to the real life in front of you. You hear the sounds around you more clearly. You feel your breath more clearly. You notice where you are, what you are doing, and what your body needs. That small pause does not waste your time. It helps your mind feel lighter and think more clearly. The sixth habit is to write down a few thoughts before going to sleep. Many people can stay calm during the day, but at night, all their thoughts begin to return. The unfinished task, a sentence that hurt them, a worry about tomorrow. Those things stay in the mind and make it hard to truly rest. You do not need to write beautifully. You do not need to write a lot. Just take a piece of paper or open a simple note and write down what is making your heart feel heavy, something you need to remember, something you are worried about, a feeling you have not said out loud, or a sudden idea. When those thoughts are placed into words, the mind no longer has to hold them so quietly inside. The Stoics often reflected on their day to understand themselves more clearly, not to blame themselves, but to live with more wisdom the next day. When you write down your thoughts, it becomes easier to see things clearly and feel less tangled inside your mind. Stepping away from screens for a while gives your mind a chance to rest. Writing down your thoughts helps your heart feel less heavy before sleep. These two habits do not need much time, but if you practice them consistently, they can help you end the day in a gentler way. And once you have small habits to care for your morning, your body, your relationships, and your sleep, the next step is learning how to care for yourself and protect your happiness each day. The seventh habit is to remind yourself of one simple sentence during the day. I am someone who knows how to care for my own happiness. It may sound very small, but this sentence reminds you that happiness is not only something we wait for others to bring us, it is also something we need to learn how to care for through small choices every day. Many people live as if their happiness depends completely on circumstances. If work goes well today, they feel okay. If someone treats them kindly, they feel happy. If everything goes the way they want, they feel peaceful. But if your mood depends only on outside things, it becomes very easy for your emotions to be pulled up and down. The Stoics understood that we cannot control everything that happens in a day, but we can control how we care for our mind, our body, our words, and our actions. You may not be able to choose everything that happens to you, but you can still choose to spend 2 quiet minutes in the morning. Choose to notice one thing you are grateful for. Choose to say one kind word. Choose to move your body a little. Choose to put your phone away. Choose to write down what is making your heart feel heavy. When you repeat these small choices, you begin to see yourself differently. You are no longer just someone trying to get through the day. You become someone who knows how to return and care for yourself, even when the outside world is still far from perfect. This reminder is not meant to force you to always be happy. It simply helps you remember that you still have the right to do one small good thing for yourself today. And when you see yourself as someone who knows how to care for your own happiness, small habits become easier to make a natural part of your life. You do not need to be perfect. You only need to keep choosing the small things that help you feel calmer, lighter, and kinder to yourself each day. In the end, happiness does not always come from one big change. Many times, it begins with very small things you repeat every day. A few quiet minutes in the morning, a moment of gratitude, a sincere compliment, 10 minutes of movement, a short time away from screens, a few lines written before sleep, and one reminder that you are someone who knows how to care for your own happiness. These habits do not make life perfect right away. They also do not make every pressure disappear, but they give you one small place to return to during the day. They remind you that even when life is still difficult, you can still do one small thing to care for your mind, your body, and your emotions. The Stoics understood that we do not need to control the whole world to live with more peace. Sometimes we only need to control how we begin the morning, how we appreciate the good things in the day, how we treat other people, how we care for the body, and how we end the day. You do not need to practice all 7 habits at once. Choose the easiest one to begin with today. Maybe it is not checking your phone for the first 2 minutes of the morning. Maybe it is walking for 10 minutes. Maybe it is writing down a few thoughts before sleep. What matters most is not doing many things. What matters most is that you truly begin. If you found this video helpful, take a moment to subscribe to the channel. This is a place where we learn together how to live with more calm, think more positively, and be kinder to ourselves each day. Before you leave, I want to ask you something. Of these 7 habits, which one do you want to begin first? Leave your thoughts below. I truly want to hear your perspective. See you in the next video.